Coffee with Keto Simple. My name is Dustin. I'm so glad you're here. This stream will be starting soon, so grab your coffee, get comfortable, and settle in. We're building a strong and supportive community, so say hello in the chat, ask questions, and feel free to use super chats if there's anything that you want to see highlighted. Thank you for being here and being a part of this journey. Let's keep it positive and respectful as we connect and grow together. I can't wait to get started. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. So very, very glad that you are here this morning with me. As always, excited to be here. Sunday, one of the best days of the week, 7:30 a.m. with me, Dustin, here on the Keto Simple channel for Sunday morning coffee. Well, friends, we're wrapping up May and heading into June. Summer is right around the corner. I mean, really, summer break is here for us already. It started. The girl is out of school. She has finished first grade. She's going to be off to second grade very shortly. And it's a huge birthday month in our house. And as you know, I've been looking forward to spending this Sunday morning with all of you. Before we get into the deeper stuff, I have a confession. At some point this week, I apparently ate something that my digestive system took as a personal attack. It was rough. I have absolutely no idea what it was because Shannon and I ate the same foods all week. It was, I don't even know. We ate the same foods all week, and she was completely fine. And meanwhile, I spent a good portion of yesterday, Friday night and yesterday, you know, not necessarily photo finish, emergency trips, you know, but, you know, when it was time to go, it was time to go. And there was, you know, I mean, I could go into some deeper detail, and you probably don't want that, but it was rough and painful, weirdly enough. I don't really know why, but it was just not good. It was like dry heaving from down below. Okay, it was rough, and I don't recommend it. I don't know what I ate, but trust me, there are details that nobody needs during their morning coffee. But I am a oversharer, so you never know. If you ask, I probably tell. But while I was recovering and thinking of this week, I kept coming back to something that I see happening in our community in health and in health communities all over the internet. We often talk to the choir. We talk to the people who already agree with us. We talk to the veterans. We talk to the people who already understand why they're here. And sometimes we forget there are other people listening. The weary, the skeptical, the curious, the people who haven't made the changes we've made yet. The people who are lurking in the background trying to decide whether any of this makes sense. And honestly, trying to figure out if they should trust us. And why should they trust us right away? For most of the last 200 years, people have been told one story about health, nutrition, convenience, and food. And they've been marketed to, they've been sold products, they've been told what healthy looks like. They've been told, they've been conditioned by television advertising, schools, experts, influencers, and food companies. We see it in TV, we see it in movies. And that doesn't make them stupid. It makes them human, because most people trust the institutions around them long before they're going to trust some random guy on the YouTube, you know, on YouTube making and talking about eating more meat and fewer processed foods. Because why would they trust us? They have no reason to trust us. And I think that's why our, that I think that's, how we communicate is becoming more important than ever. And I know I probably sound like a broken record because I talk about this and I touch on this quite often. Because it's more important than ever, but we are seeing the cracks in the old system. More people are questioning things. More people are looking for alternatives. But if we greet them with rigidity, sensationalism, or purity tests, we're going to lose them before they ever hear the message, right? We don't need people to become copies of us. We need people to become healthier versions of themselves. And that means staying compassionate, staying approachable, and remembering that our job isn't to win arguments. It's to help people. And it's not even to prove that we are right. It's just to show our stories and what's worked for us. Because that's the most important piece of this entire puzzle. Us. Each and every one of us sharing our stories, talking about our daily routines, talking about what's changed for us, where we've been, where we plan on going. Because I know I came from a dismal place, an awful place. Being overweight, obese, morbidly obese is a dismal, sad, lonely place. Even when you're surrounded by friends, it's a very lonely place. Because most people have no true understanding in your circle of friends how you're feeling. They don't understand what you're going through. Most of them are your friends, so they're not necessarily judging you. But in the back of their minds, they're thinking, well, if he would just eat less and move more, if he would just be healthy, if he would just do X, Y, and Z to be healthier, then he would lose weight. But all the while, the struggle within, the struggles to find clothes, the struggle to figure out how to eat, the struggle to get through a day with that hunger, that drive to do better. But the demon, inside of you telling you just stop at McDonald's and grab something, or stop at White Castle, stop here, stop there. Let's go to the grocery store and let's get that half gallon of ice cream. Let's get those Oreos. Let's get those foods, and let's go home and let's feel better about ourselves. And while that feeling better about yourself happens from the time that you're eating those things, because that time is bliss. That time that you are letting go, giving in, is Shangri-La almost, right? If you know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments, because that's one of those things that when you have that issue and you do just let go, whether it's McDonald's or whatever, a whole bag of chicken tenders from the grocery store, a whole bag of chicken nuggets, whatever it is, whatever your happy place look like. But we have to share those stories. We have to let people know that they are not alone. Because, again, so many people feel alone. You could be in a crowded room and feel like you're all by yourself. And that still happens to me. It happens to all of us. So how do we build a stronger, more supportive community so we know that nobody who comes in feels alone? That nobody feels like nobody understands them. So we can't go on building a community with the rigidity, with the dogmatic tendencies to where somebody comes in looking for our help and then they feel just as alone with us as they did with everybody else. So I do feel like a broken record. I do feel like we talk about this week in and week out, but I think it's imperative. It's so very important. It's probably one of the most important pieces of our entire community. How do we find what works for us as an individual while maintaining a community of individuals who can support adding more people to the mix who have to find out what works best for them without trying to contaminate what their success should look like? How do we not dictate what their success looks like? Now they can look to us and what we've accomplished, and they can try bits and pieces from me, from you, from others to see what's worked for the individuals in this community, to see what might work for them. Because ultimately we have to open ourselves. We have to unpack decades and decades of who we are and really spread it out to look at it, to see what it all looks like, what makes us tick. Then we have to learn to put ourselves back together in an order that makes sense to keep going. And we obviously won't have room for all of the things that we've unpacked and looked at, and we'll have to leave those behind. We have to leave some of that stuff behind. We have to leave some of those old habits behind, some of those old tendencies, work through and get past some of the demons, if you will, that we've been dealing with for the better part of our lives. And we have to remember that this journey is never ending. This journey only ends when our time comes. We've got years. And we're going to learn things about ourselves even still that we didn't know. So we have to make sure that we are aiding people in finding out about themselves. Let them know that it's okay to look deep within. Let them know that it's okay to question, even question us. We have to question us. We have to question all of the people in this community, all the thought leaders, the people that we look up to. We still have to question them, because there's not a single one of them, even me, who has this all figured out. It doesn't matter if it's Kiltz or Barry or anybody, Chafee. It doesn't matter. None of them have it all figured out. I don't have it all figured out. I'm still learning things about me and about what works best for me on a daily basis. Now, the thought leaders, the people that are at the forefront of our communities, those people who are kind of holding it all together, the ones that we congregate around, the ones that we support, have a lot of amazing information to share with us, a lot of amazing information to share with anybody who comes into this community, but we still have to question them. We have to question ourselves. But we've got to do it by staying compassionate, staying approachable, and remembering that our job is not, again, to win arguments. It's to help one another. And it doesn't matter if somebody comes in who is vegan and maybe they want to add a little bit of meat into their diet. Maybe they don't. Maybe they want to try to figure out how to be on a more plant-based, proper human diet. Now, whether or not I think that that's a reasonable possibility is neither here nor there. How do we help them accomplish their goals to the best of our ability? How do we help guide them to figure out what works best for them? And maybe guiding them along the way, they will realize that maybe adding some meat isn't probably the worst thing in the world. But forcing them and pushing them and prodding them and probing them and shaming them because they're not eating meat or whatever, as somebody calls themselves a carnivore and they have spices, or they have broccoli every once in a while, or you know what, they do whatever it is that they do, and we don't think it's good enough, and we again try to put that purity test that we have set for our individual selves onto them. Are they likely to thank us, or are they going to say, you know what, I'm out of here because you're treating me just like everybody else did? And I know that's heavy for early first thing on a Sunday morning. But I think it's very important that we, again, keep this in mind. So if somebody is going back and listening to this, watching this on a replay, who isn't familiar with our community, hopefully this will translate for them and understand that they can come here and they can work through whatever it is they have to work through, and that they will most likely find someone here that has been through what they are going through currently. Because isn't that what helping people is? Wearing our flaws and our failures on our sleeves so people can see. Wearing our past on our sleeves so people can see where we've come from. We're not here to show how people, or to show people how perfect we are. Because that's a lie. None of us are perfect. None of us have this all figured out. All of us have come from a place of failure. But what we have learned from that failure is to get up and keep trying. Because all of us are going to fail. That's just being human. We will fail. But that's how we learn. That's how we get up. That's how we keep going. That's how we figure this out. Now, before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who is currently sailing on the 2026 low carb cruise. Well, they're not probably sailing yet. I think embarkation day is today. I believe it's today. People are on their way to, it might even be tomorrow. I can't remember. I know that people are making their way to Galveston, Texas currently. So many of our friends, creators, coaches, community members who are going to be on board that ship this week. They're making memories, sharing stories, learning from one another, and building relationships that hopefully last long after the ship docks and we start preparing for 2027. Now, I have never been on a low-carb cruise. I don't even know if I'll ever go on a low-carb cruise. But one of the greatest things about this movement is that it extends beyond YouTube comments and Facebook groups. It becomes real friendships. Real support systems are built, and real lives are changed when people get together. Where it's a small meetup, like last week in Elkhart, or major events like Meat Stock and Keto Palooza and Low Carb for Better Health and Hack Your Health and all of the ones that take place all over this great country and the world. There's meetups happening all over the world. They're happening in Singapore, I think one. I might be mistaken, but I know that Dave Mack is talking about one that's on the other side of the planet. Whether if you live in Australia, you can get together at some meat place with 5 people, 10 people, 2 people. It doesn't matter. I'm figuring out another meetup for Central Indiana, one closer to me. I maybe Amy and I talked about maybe sometime in July or August. It'll be at a BW3's most likely here. It might be August the 8th. My brother's birthday is that day, but I imagine I don't know what he's got planned. You know, hold on, my nose is a little itchy. But I plan to get together maybe Saturday, August 8th. When I solidify the date, I will post it and get it up on lowcarbevents.com. Because again, it doesn't have to be a cruise. It doesn't have to be a 2,000 person organized, gigantic conference. It could be just a couple of people sharing wings and stories and having fun and laughing. But that's really what it is about this community that I love so very much. And while we're talking about exciting things happening this summer, I have a little teaser for you. Now, I can't say much right now, and trust me, I've already learned that certain people get very nervous when I start talking too much about upcoming flavors. But let's just say that on June the 10th, a fan favorite that disappeared far too soon will be making a return. Now, that's all that I'm allowed to say at this current moment. No hints, no spoilers, no accidental reveals. Just know that if you've been waiting patiently for something to come back, June might be a very, very good month for you. So between summer kicking off, birthdays, meetups to come, and all the things that are happening behind the scenes, it's shaping up to be a pretty exciting month indeed. So grab your coffee. I have mine. Do you have yours? I have my coffee here, and let's have ourselves a great Sunday morning conversation. Oh. Delicious. Now let's take a look at these comments because we know Evelyn has been here for an hour. Good morning, Evelyn. I'm so very glad to see you. And Mr. Biscuit is here. Mr. Biscuit says, good morning, Dustin. Sup, babe? I love it. And Milady Laugh-A-Lot. Miss Andy is here. She says, good morning, everyone. Jet lag is a bear. Rawr. But with over 12 hours of sleep yesterday, I think I'm okay now. Congratulations to all the people who made it through May. June is gonna be awesome. Indeed. June is the culmination of my 46th going into my 47th year on this planet. I'll be 47 years old, however that works. 47. Both Shandra and I are birthday babies this month. We are 19 days apart. Her birthday happens before mine, and then hers, and then mine. Yes, super excited. Brian Dish is here. Good morning, Dustin, and to all. Another month down for 2026. Time is flying by. Indeed, it is way too fast. Way too fast. Isabel is here. Good morning, Isabel. Welcome back. So glad that you're joining us this morning. Thank you so very much. And Donna Ray. Good morning, Donna Ray. How are you? She says, good morning, friends. Super excited to see you, Donna Ray. And Brian Ayer is here. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Please let me know if I'm not. I want to make sure that I'm doing your name justice. Good morning, Dustin and everyone. Good morning, Brian. Welcome. And Maritza all the way from Las Vegas. My friend is in Las Vegas right now. He got married yesterday in Las Vegas, and he was saying something. He texted me last night about how dead Las Vegas is, like how empty it is. He says like the high roller wasn't even running. It was just a ghost town. Now, you see different and conflicting things on YouTube about Las Vegas. I haven't been since 2015, so 11 years ago, I went to Las Vegas. I've been there 4 times, but he just got married again. I think this is his 4th marriage. And he's younger than me, but we wish him well. I love him very much. So, congratulations to my friend. And hopefully this one sticks. But Papa Carnivore, Mr. Pretzel Pete is in the house. Good morning, Pete. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Good morning. So very glad that you have joined us today. And Jeff Fafa is here, says, good morning, PhD friends. Now, on the PhD front, I have news that I'll be sharing in the next week, 2 weeks or give or take or so. I will be sharing some new news about the PhD. about things going on the inside, about the things, about those things. I'm excited about things. I had a meeting about a thing. So be on the lookout for the things, and when I can tell you, I will. But, it seems like I'm just being very vague today. But things are happening. Things are in the works. But they're good things, important things, valuable things, things that excite me, things that make me feel good about myself. And isn't that the most important thing that we can do for ourselves? Is find things that are good, that make us feel good, that are important, that are pushing things in the right direction? Yes. Yes, indeed. And Evelyn is correct. Hit that thumbs up, hit the like button. Please share this out to your friends, share it out to your family, share it out to your enemies. Let's go. Brian says, hello, Pretzel Pete. And Andy says, we are celebrating one granddaughter's birth 9 days ago and another grandson coming in less than a month. My nephew has become a first-time father to his daughter 3 days ago. So much happy. I love the squishies. My newest granddaughter is starting to do the whole uppy thing, and she's got a couple of teeth coming in. And oh my goodness. If I could share the photo with you, but I cannot. But the other day, Thursday, I want to say it was Thursday or maybe Friday. Both days I was kind of here by myself with the granddaughter. And I think it was Friday. She played, she had a lot of tummy time, and she was just playing, and I put her in her bouncer. She has this bouncer. I swear this bouncer is going to give her CTE, though, because she goes crazy. She gets so excited. And there's a bird that she talks crap to. She doesn't like that bird. None of this makes sense unless you know what I'm talking about. But she's got this bouncer and there's little toys all around the outside. One of them is this red bird, and she does not like this bird. She's not a fan of this bird. But anyway, and then we played and we played and we played, and then we cuddled, and then she had her bink, and then we fell asleep. Oh, it was amazing. She just fell asleep in Pa's arms. We had a good little nap. It's those little things that truly make life worth living. It's the little things. Happiness isn't grandiose things. Happiness is small things that you have to remember to notice and to enjoy. But I'm so happy for you, Andy. I'm happy that you and Susan have these grandbabies, and you got to spend so much time in Germany. And I love some of the photos that I've seen of the two of you. And hopefully I'll get a chance to see you sometime in the near future, because hugs are in order. I did send a message to Rachel. Hopefully she sees it, because I want to make sure that hugs happen on the low-carb cruise. I'm not able to be there, but I want my hugs to be represented. As weird as that sounds, I want my hugs to be represented. I need my hugs to be represented on a place that I am not. International hugs. And Papa Carnivore says, I've tightened up my carnivore. Need to lose weight. I've gained when I stupidly thought I could add back in berries and yogurt. I stopped the berries a month ago, and the yogurt got out of control. So my question about this kind of thing is, how many berries are you actually eating? Is it actually causing fat gain? Is it actually causing true weight gain? And I know that moderation is difficult for most people, even myself, but I find that if I don't buy things and just buy them and have them for, like a day, and then I don't have them anymore, because then I don't go to the grocery every day. Now that there's a new Meijer, it's easier to get to. It's like 5 minutes from my house, but it's a more expensive store. So it's convenience, but it's a little more pricey than going 15 minutes to go to the Walmart. I don't know. But I was just, I'm always just very curious about how these things, how something such as a small thing like berries and yogurt could cause weight gain. And by weight gain, like, what are we talking about? Because I imagine that weight fluctuation to a small amount is probably not that big of an issue. But again, I think we have to look at when we would have eaten berries. I don't know about yogurt in the wild. There's no yogurt trees, but you know what I mean. I imagine that yogurt became a thing because of just fresh milk doesn't stay very long. That's kind of where cheese comes from, you know. John is in the house. Good morning, John. Mr. Smoothie. Good morning. Sunday fun day. That's right. I got a chance to meet Mr. John last week at the Elkhart meetup. Very excited about that. My phone is making noises. Let's see if I can make it stop doing that, because I don't want it to make noises. It's vibration. I don't want the vibration. There we go. That's better. That's better, everybody. There we go. There we go. And Jeff Fuss said it could have been something on a utensil. I mean, it very well could have been. But it was rough, and I did not like it. Like getting up in the middle of the night, like at 4 o'clock in the morning, and just being like, ugh, when I had to be up super early anyway. Because yesterday we had a 7:30 or 7:45 game, the girls' last game. She got to be goalie for a little while. That was fun to watch. John Guggenhan is here, my friend. Good morning. How are you? I'm always glad to see you here. Mr. Guggenhan says, good morning. What is this starting a time thing? I was banking on you being fashionably late. Now I'm late. I'm trying to be good, John. I'm trying to give you the show that you deserve. Mr. Brian Doyle says, good morning, friends. Workout done, just jumped into the sauna, then I jump into the pool. You know what? You're living a better life than me. And I say that loosely because I have an amazing life. But we have a pool, and I could go get in the pool early in the morning. I think it opens at 5 or 6 in the morning or something like that. I can go get this ice bath of a pool. There's a pool open last week, and it hasn't been hot enough to warm it up. But I could do that, but I don't have a sauna. I need a sauna. I want a sauna. I want to live a life that my pocketbook is not accustomed to. But it sounds wonderful, Mr. Brian. Please enjoy. There we are. Bacon Runner says, day 3 of sardines. How are you liking that? How is that working out for you, dear? Very curious. Angie is here. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, Angie. Thank you for being here. So very glad to see you. And Kevin from Tuber Chat is here. Good morning, my friend. How are you? How are you? Very glad to see you here, my friend. If you don't follow Tuber Chat and you are a creator, be sure to jump on over, subscribe. Does live streams, I think, is every 3 days for 3 hours at a time. Lots of help, lots of good advice on how to grow a channel. I'm in there. Not every night, not every time he goes live, because, again, he goes every 3 days. So some nights are nights where I'm not able to join in, but I do it as much as I can because it's a great environment. It's a great community. And so many of our friends are in there. Just Jason Keto's in there. You'll find Amy in there. You'll find Wendy in there. You'll find a bunch of people in there that we know. And then it's just a great, great guy. And Kathy is here. Kathy B here is here. I love it. What's with the face, Kathy? Your little face. You seem like what you talking about, Willis? But good morning. Thank you for joining us. So glad that you are here. Very much. and Christian Delorme, everybody. A round of applause for Christian Delorme. Bonjour, everybody. It's our weekly Sunday morning with Keto. I love it. Thank you for being here, my friend. Hope you and your wife are doing wonderful today. Thank you for being here. Yes. There we go. There's rockin' Coach Amy. Good morning, Dustin and friends. Good morning, Amy. So glad to see you, my dear. How are you? Go, Amy. Go, Amy. And my sister is here. Good morning, Sarah. How are you doing, my dear? How are you? I love you very much, Sarah. I hope you have a wonderful day. And people are saying hello to each other. And then Donna Ray says that, got my set of canned fish translated from Portuguese, codfish, mackerel, and sardines. Nothing weird. I want to try cod livers because Chris Cook and Nashville said they're very good. Now, cod liver oil is one of those things that we'd always see in the old time cartoons. When somebody was bad or whatever, they would give them the cod liver oil. But cod liver, I guess it's supposed to be good, right? So, let's take a look and see what else is going on here. Jeff says he sees positive changes in people that he is close to. I love that. We are making a difference, he says. And it is going to be slow going. So we got to remember we can't allow ourselves to get discouraged because it's not going to go fast. 200 years of getting to where we are isn't going to change overnight. We've got a huge uphill battle. We've got a lot of people out there and a lot of egos that are going to be devastated by things changing. I think egos are one of the things that's going to stand in our way the most. And egos come into play even in this community. Ego is a human trait. Ego finds its way in all kinds of places because you have people who have written papers and done talks and performed studies, and they're showing outcomes, and their ego is on the line. So if their evidence is refuted and found to be incorrect, they are going to fight it tooth and nail because ego. It's like the officer, there was a video that's been viral right now of an officer who pulls over a lady because she was texting with her right hand. And when he comes up to the car, he says, I'm pulling you over because I saw that you were texting. You had your phone in your right hand. And so she has her hand on the steering wheel, her left hand on the steering wheel, and she raises her right hand and doesn't have a hand. It's just a nub. It's just a piece of her arm. Her arm goes, she doesn't have a hand. Now, instead of this officer taking the L and saying, my mistake, ma'am, it couldn't have been what I thought I saw because there's no possible way that you were holding a phone in your right hand. When you don't have a hand and you have to drive with your left hand, there's just things that don't work. But instead of taking the L and being like, my apologies, ma'am, my apologies, have a great day, he doubles down and still gives her the ticket. Now, the problem with that is then, yes, eventually a judge is going to see this and is going to throw it out because it doesn't make any sense. But it shouldn't have to go that far. The officer should have just been like, you know what? My mistake. I must have saw something that I didn't see. Have a great day. But no. Ego and bravado and all these things that come into play get in the way. Get in the way of people doing and saying and being the right thing, right? Yes. Yes. So that's just something definitely to think about, right? Donna Ray says, they were a gift from a waitress at our breakfast joint. She came back from a trip to Portugal. Oh, that sounds amazing. I love that. And John Gugahan says, I know what you're talking about. That feeling after the bliss is gone is absolute devastation and sadness. There's definitely a creeping sadness, especially for me, when I would get through eating my food, then it wasn't like the bliss was over. It wasn't that I was done eating. I would eat until I couldn't physically fit any more food into my body. I couldn't physically fit any more in. And then I would lay and I would watch TV. I'd lay in my bed because I would eat in my room because that's where my TV was. And I would watch whatever I was watching, and I would eat and eat and eat and eat until I physically couldn't put any more food into my body. Then I would lay there, and if I moved, it was painful. So I knew that was a problem. I wasn't no secret, but I still did that night after night after night. And then when that kind of subsided a little bit, I'm like, okay, maybe I got a little bit of room. Let's go get some ice cream. And then I would have a big giant bowl of ice cream and eat that till it was gone. And then I would pass out in front of the TV, wake up in the middle of the night, turn the TV off, tuck in and roll over and go to sleep, get up and go to work the next day and repeat. Repeat the whole thing. Is that something that I'm proud of? Absolutely not. It's probably some of the most lowest points in my entire life. But I feel that I have to share these low points in my life because if I went through it, understanding how many people are in this world, there's 8 billion people, estimated 8 billion people. Chances are there's a million other people going through the exact same thing that I did. And how do I reach those people to let them know that I understand, to let them know that they are not alone? How do I reach those people? How can I help them? Let them know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that there is hope. Because when you are living that lifestyle, you feel helpless, hopeless, just feel alone. Like there's no, when you live like that, there's no prospects of finding somebody. I mean, unless not to say that people who do that don't have significant others, because they do. But there was a long period in my life where I didn't have a significant other. I was alone. I took care of my grandmother, and for a long time, my mom who was in and out of nursing homes and kind of at home for short periods of time. But I took care of them. And that was stressful. And maybe that stress led to the reason that I ate the way that I did. Because that's a lot of stress. There's nothing you can do about it but do it. You just have to do it. You just have to get up every day and handle your business. So maybe I didn't turn to alcohol. I could have turned to alcohol, but I turned to food instead to kind of help myself, and some people turn to alcohol, and that's normal. Is it good? No. But it's just as damaging as what I was doing to my body with the food. We live our life and we handle our business. Now the problem with handling your business and just kind of trudging through is sometimes you get caught up in a cycle like I did, eating yourself almost to death every single night. But there's a way out. It doesn't have to be that way. Lewis is here. Good morning, Lewis. So very glad to see you. How you doing, my friend? And Brian Airy says, I would love to go to Portugal. I would love to go to Portugal, Spain, Italy. I just want to travel the world. I would love just to see all the places, because it's like you think about all these places that you've never been, and are they real until you get there? Maybe. And Pete says, I'm working on losing the extra weight that I've gained recently. And I think we cycle. We do cycle. I think there's no real stagnation when it comes to our body, right? I mean, in a day, I could probably gain and lose 5 to 10 pounds. Just cycling water weight and things like that. And Pete said there were several dozen donuts in the break room at work, but I didn't have any. But boy, was it tempting. There was a lot of things like that are tempting sometimes. But for me, like donuts have never, I mean, I eat donuts at work sometimes, but I've been at jobs where every other Friday, like the opposite Friday of pay Friday. So it was a bi-weekly pay schedule. So every other week you got paid. And then the opposite weeks of payday, they would bring in bagels. Hundreds and hundreds of bagels. They had boxes of bagels on all 14 floors. It was an office building that I worked. It's like a 32 or 34 floor building, 14 of which my company operated on. Every single floor had a soda fountain with like 8 different soda flavors. And then they had a big, huge coffee machine that you could use. You had to provide your own coffee pods, but it was a gigantic, like, industrial Keurig. It was, like, hardwired into the water system. And then they would provide bagels. There was almost, like, every week was somebody's anniversary, and there would be cake. Gigantic sheet cakes. Huge sheet cakes. Every week there was cake. And then once a month there was a day, like, we all got together and we went down to the lobby where there was a huge, like, it was just a gigantic building. They had like a coffee shop and like a convenience store and a dentist office and a bank. And they had all the things. And we would go once a month. All of us would go downstairs and we would celebrate things. It would be food. Sometimes they would give you beer. They would do whatever. Sometimes there were beers. Sometimes it was just sodas. Sometimes it was like water and like different kinds of food or whatever, depending on what the theme of that month was. Yeah. And Papa says, I'm not going to get any more yogurt. I can't moderate. I don't even like yogurt. I've tried yogurt at different stages of my life and I've never liked it. Never have I liked it. And Donna Ray says most of us are continuing to tweak our eating patterns and lifestyles. I think that's just going to be the way that it is, because what works for us today may not be the same tomorrow. And Angie, thank you for the 200 joules. Thank you so much. This is a new thing for me. I'm not quite sure what the joules do. I know that there's some kind of monetary value to them, but I'm not quite sure how it all works. It's a very new thing for me. But thank you so very much, Angie. I truly appreciate that very much. I saw it flash on my screen. I've got the chat live on the screen over here, and I saw it flash. I'm like, ooh, what's that? Something new. And Pete says the only thing I'm going to eat is some pickles with my steak sometimes, and when I occasionally have sausages or hot dogs, some sauerkraut, but I don't have that often. I like mustard. I like onions. I just bought a whole bunch of, like, I've been buying lunch meat because I make my waffles, and like lunch meat sandwiches are just so good and they're just delicious. And I've been buying turkey. Lunch meat turkey from the deli counter. And I don't know. It's just what I've been really wanting right as of late. Yesterday I bought some bologna. Like, why would I do that? But it's good. I mean, is it the best? Absolutely not. But sometimes it's just what I want. Andy says, getting up right now to make a flat of bacon for breakfast. Oh, yeah. I love it. And Papa says, I'm going back to super clean carnivore. Sometimes you just got to go back to basics. And that's okay. I think that's the thing that we have to pay attention to with this community is the fact that we can try things. Having some berries and yogurt, and you realize, well, maybe I can't have that. And then you go back and you clean things up a little bit. But I think, again, we would cycle things like that. We didn't have berries year-round like we do now. Like, I went to the store the other day. Like, our granddaughter loves blackberries. So I went, and they had 4 containers of blackberries for $5 at the grocery store. I don't eat fruit very much. Do I enjoy fruit from time to time? Every once in a great while. Like, I like an apple every once in a while. I'll cut it up, and it just has to be, like, ice cold. But it's not something, I don't crave an apple. I don't crave the little cuties or the oranges or grapes. But every once in a while, I'll buy I'll buy grapes for the granddaughter, and I'll pop a grape every once in a while. Is that a huge deal? Absolutely not. But for me, they're not triggering foods. They're not things that I'm like, oh, now I've got to have 13 apples tomorrow. They just don't. Which is weird because usually foods that I enjoy do trigger me, but fruit's not one of the ones that's not one that bothers me too much. Like when we'll go apple picking in the fall. We'll go get a couple bunches of apples. We'll get some pumpkins. We'll go to the apple orchard. We have a good time. And I'll have an apple, maybe 2 while we're there. But then I'm okay. Apples, just sometimes a good, cold, crunchy apple is okay. But again, it's a one-to-one basis. Does that apple cause me to go and do other things? Surprisingly, no, which is strange for me. But that's why I'm like, okay, I'll have an apple every once in a while because it doesn't impact me that way. And I think we, as a species, evolved to have a couple apples a year. Some fruit, we found it. And again, one thing that we were talking about, I want to say, and I can't remember if it was last week, but just like the mechanism behind cravings, the mechanism behind addictive foods, right? The mechanism, like we talk about foods are addicting. I don't necessarily know if the foods are addicting or if it's our programming to find certain foods addicting because we would have to just eat them in mass when we found them. These are probably triggered by foods that would put on weight for us at a time where that was very valuable to us, where we weren't having trouble. We were probably all underweight, and we had to put on weight in order to survive the winter. So does that translate to now? Yes. The translation to now is the fact that those mechanisms in our DNA are still in place, but now we live in a society where we have hyper availability of just about anything and everything that we could ever want. Is there a time of year you go to the grocery store and you don't see bananas? The only difference between finding strawberries in the grocery store all year round is sometimes just the price because it may not be the best time for them. So they're just more expensive. Blackberries, raspberries. There are some seasonal fruits that are harder to find, like nectarines and peaches. Sometimes those are harder to find in the grocery store here in the Midwest. And I imagine that these things are more or less available, and other things are more or less available to you depending on where in the world that you live. Like I've heard a lot of things now coming around about avocados. how those that are in control of avocados, like avocado is like the new mega cash crop. Now, avocados are good for us in our community because they have saturated fats in them. And that's good. And we utilize the avocado oil. Some people do. Some people here do not. Like I use the avocado oil in the Chosen Foods mayo that I use to make my waffles. Dairy-free, grain-free, basically carbohydrate-free waffles that are light, airy, and a little crispy, made out of eggs, gelatin, and mayonnaise. It almost defies the laws of physics. Speaking of which, just Jason Keto put a video out last week about my waffles, and it's gone and done gangbusters. Like last time I looked at it, it had 10,000 views. Let's look and see where it's at now, because I'm very, very curious about that, because that's amazing to me. I just wanted my recipe to get out there. It's a great recipe. I wanted people to know about it. I wanted people to get my recipe. That was the most important piece of it. Did it put some views my way? Yes. But that was not the goal. It's got 10,000 views currently. So it says 10,000 views. That's pretty amazing. Let me go and see if I can get let me go ahead and get there's that here. Let me go ahead and put this in the stream so you guys can go and watch this. After this is over, if you don't follow Just Jason Keto, please do so. There we go. There's Just Jason Keto's video. Oh, Evelyn beat me to it. Evelyn is the bestest. Extra most specialist bestest ever. And Brian says that donuts would make me sick. Yes. Donuts just made me... there's other things I would rather eat. If I'm going to have an off day, it's not going to be a donut. It's just not. I'd rather have pizza. I'd rather have corn dogs and macaroni and cheese. I'd rather eat like a 5-year-old. Yes. And Evelyn says, have fun to the low-carb cruisers. Yes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. Like a stomach ache, maybe some of that rhea. Angie says, I have left many groups last year because of exactly what you're talking about, Dustin. I had to be a part of a group to give grace and encouragement. This year, I am doing much better with help from y'all. 100%. Now, again, I'm not here to just tell you to go willy-nilly and do whatever you want. I'm not here to say, if you want to cheat every day, do that. I'm not here to give carte blanche. There's still accountability. There's still tough love to be had here. But there's grace. We have to give each other grace. But that doesn't mean I'm here to say, do whatever you want. It's okay. Because, again, that's not what you need either. That's not what I need. If I have a slip up, I want to be encouraged to do better. But I also don't want to be shamed. I want to be encouraged to do better, but I also don't want someone saying, well, you know what? Just eat more mac and cheese. No, don't tell me that either. And Peter said, just like when I had those 3 mini pretzels, made me sick for 3 days. That's just crazy. I wonder how much, and I'm not saying anything negative here, but I wonder how much of that is actually psychosomatic versus actually physical. How much of what we eat physically impacts us, and how much and what percentage of that is psychosomatic. It's like how the placebo effect, right? I'm just very, very curious about that. Amy says, I want to plan a camping meetup at Potato Creek State Park. They have big cabins we can rent and share. Well, how much does that cost? Do they have air conditioning and room service? And how close is that to Disney World? No, but I would like to know the details about that to see if it would be even something that we would be able to do. And Pete says, one thing that I'm learning is that you've got to be very honest with yourself. And if you're eating the wrong things that you're addicted to, even if it's keto or carnivore food, you got to cut it out. You have to. You have to be realistic with yourself. Now, that doesn't mean you never, ever eat that stuff again either. But you have to understand the ramifications of having that food. But again, I think, it comes back to how did we evolve as people, as humans? I don't think we were ever 100% carnivore in any stretch of the imagination across any civilization that we can find. Yeah, the Inuit, they ate a lot of blubber and they ate a lot of whale meat, but I imagine in the springtime they found berries and things too, and they probably ate that as well. I don't think there's been a completely carnivore society ever. Even the Maasai. The Maasai, the men, they drink blood and milk and eat beef. But I don't know, is that 100% of what they eat? Or is that just the warriors? Is that the entirety of their civilization? But I've even seen now where more Western food is starting to creep into their diets, and it's wreaking havoc with the Maasai. So, And Brian says, I would love the chance to go to EMEA. Well, where are you, Mr. Brian? Where are you in this world? And Brenda Foley is in the house. Good morning, dear. How are you? So very glad to see you. And Mr. Pete says, for me, it was the berries and yogurt. Berries are keto and yogurt is carnivore-ish. Yeah, that's the thing. Dairy may not work very well for you. And Carl's telling Amy that he doesn't eat potatoes anymore because of the potato thing. Oh, let's see. Jackie is here. Good morning. Just woke up. Good day, everyone. Good day to you, ma'am. How are you? Very glad that you are here. Glad that you could join us. And then everybody's saying good morning, good morning, good morning. And I don't know if he got married by Elvis or not. Yeah. And Brian says Airy. There we go. Mr. Airy. There we go. Brian Airy. So I think I had it right the first time, maybe. I can't remember now. I've said other things since then. But I will remember from now on, Mr. Airy. Karen is here. Good morning, Karen. How are you? Welcome. So glad that you could join us today, my dear. And Sharon is here. Good morning, Sharon. Glad that you could join us today. Welcome, welcome. There we go. Cindy's finally here. Cindy finally got up. There we are. Good morning, Cindy. So very glad to see you, my dear. How are you? Jackie says, there's something to be said about marrying when you're older and maybe going through the Catholic class. I didn't do it either, but we're still here for now. I've been with my best friend for 35 years. That's awesome. Congratulations. Says, where's Rick the Duck Man? I think he was on Danivore's podcast. They were live before I started. I went in and said hi to them. But then I had to get this live started, so I couldn't stick around. I just said, hello. And Cindy has her live today at 4 p.m. Be there or be square. You hear me, fam? Make sure to be there. And Pete says, I don't think I'll ever get married or remarried. I always feel like that, if something ever happens to me, if ever something happens between Shannon and I, I don't think we're going to leave each other. But if anything were to happen, I think I would just, I don't know what I would do because it took so long to find her. I don't want to have to do that again. I don't want it. I don't know what I would do. 100%. Yeah, baby time. It just makes me want to just, she's just adorable and I love her. She gets so excited to see me. So awesome how excited she gets to see me. And Andy says, getting remarried isn't all bad. Susan is my third marriage and we've been together 17 years. Well, I was involved in his first wedding. They were married for 12 years, something like that. And then he got divorced from her. And then he got married again. And then they got divorced. They were only married a year or 2 years or so. And then he got married. He went off and met somebody in Vegas. And got married to her. Had it annulled. And then he's like, I'm never getting married again. Now he's with this one. And so, I mean, that's 3 women. This is the third one he's going to be married to that I haven't even met. The second wife, I think I talked to her once on the phone. But I mean, obviously I was involved in the first wedding and knew her and, you know, and I went down because they live in Texas. So, you know. And Cindy sent us so right that Brian and I are both on our third marriage and have been married 22 years now. That's amazing. Congratulations. But you don't know my friend. I don't know if I can talk about him here in a way that would describe him that wouldn't get me kicked off this platform. I love him, but he's a mess. I love him so much, but he's a mess. I've known him since he was like 17 years old, and he's a mess. He and I started chatting on AOL years and years ago because he lived in my city. So we started talking about music way back. We would just chat about music all night on AOL. So yeah, there's that. Still friends. How many of you still have AOL friends? If you were an AOL person, how many of you still have AOL friends that you still at least maybe are friends with on Facebook now or what? I'm very curious about that because I got really into AOL in 1996. Like it was December of 96, I'm pretty sure, when AOL went unlimited. Before that, you paid for the hours. You paid by the hour to be on AOL. So then when it went unlimited, it was $20 a month. In 1996 money. So I had to work 4 hours at my job, well, before taxes, to be able to afford a month of AOL. And I was on that a lot. I met so many people. But I'm really curious how many people here had friends on AOL and or are still friends with some of the people that you knew from AOL from back in the day, because I still do. And Jackie says, nope, sometimes it takes a long time to find the right one. My husband got married when he was 18 and divorced when he was 20. And then I found him. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, for sure. And Jackie says, pool temps aren't here good either. Personal saunas are all the rage. No, I just want a sauna. I just love it. Like the problem is like going to a gym where they have a sauna, then you're sitting there with a bunch of people who are breathing or making noise, or you can hear their headphones or something. And I know that's first world bougie problems, but like sauna to me is like meditation, quiet time. Evelyn says, as my communicable disease teacher always said, the 24-hour flu is more often than not fecal oral. Okay, that's disgusting. But yes, I would love to. I don't know where I would put a sauna in this house, but I would love to have a sauna. And well, if I'm going to have a sauna, I'd probably have another house built. And I don't see that being a thing. The way my bank account is set up is it's not really set up to buy a new house. Our children, not the ones who live here, the ones who already did not live here, have bought a house. Well, it's a condo. a 2-bedroom condo, and it's tiny. I think it's overall 1,300 square feet. Now, it's just the two of them. The master bedroom is decent sized. The second bedroom is more like a den. It's very, very small. Like if you put a queen size bed, it would pretty much fill the room. So it's very small. Very, very small. And then like the stair, like steep stairs, small little living room, tiny dining room, small little alleyway kitchen that leads to the garage. And it's not bad. It's a little quiet little condo neighborhood. They've got an HOA they've got to pay every month. I think their monthly HOA is the same of what we pay every year. So we pay $400 a year for our HOA. They pay, I think they're going to be like $400 a month for their HOA. So, yeah. They've got their offer was accepted. Now they've got to go through the inspection process and all those things. So we'll see what comes with that. So within the next month, they might be moving, and they're basically taking all of the furniture that was in the house. Like the lady had gotten married and was moving into with her new husband, so she was wanting to leave all her furniture behind. So I think they're purchasing most of that. So they're going to be doing. So hopefully we won't have to help them move. So I don't want to help them move. Nobody wants to move anybody. I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times, like, you can buy saunas at Costco for like $2,000. I think they're like $1,800, $2,000, something like that. You can buy like a two-person wood sauna. I don't know how hot they get. That's the thing, is I would like one that gets like above 200 degrees. But yeah. And Jackie says, did anybody happen to catch Lily's last video telling everybody they need to eat carbs? There's going to be an ebb and flow. When it comes to content creation, unfortunately, when it comes to content creation, especially when content creation is your entire like business for the most part, if AdSense and views and all of these things drive how much money you make, and not always, but they're going to use sensationalism. I didn't watch the video. I don't know. Like, I haven't watched much Lily Kane content in a long time. I think that's who you're talking about, Lily Kane. But I've seen a lot of the carnivores. They kind of ebb and flow with whether or not you should add carbs, or I'm adding this back, or whatever. But I think there's always going to be some kind of churn, because you got to keep fresh eyes on what you're doing. I can't say it's necessarily a bad thing. I'm a content creator. I fall into the influencer category, regardless of how I look at myself or not. But yeah. Mr. Biscuit says cod liver is good. Most of it comes from Iceland. I'm going to try it. It's just hard to find. I don't want to spend a lot of money on it. I mean, just because I don't want like a little tin of fish to be like super expensive. I probably have to order. I had to order on Amazon. No stores I've found carry it. Maybe I can go to like some of the bigger, like those bigger, like the big international markets. We have a gigantic international market here, 2 of them actually. And then there's also one 2 hours away in Cincinnati called Jungle Gyms. And I imagine between those 3, I could probably get it, but I could probably order it cheaper than driving the 2 hours. Unless I have people meet me at Jungle Gyms, have one of those meetups at Jungle Gyms. I've done that before. That was fun because I got together with that was a while ago, because Jen Delaney was there, and Brian, and I think maybe was Brian there, but Emily and James and Maitreya, they all showed up, and Chandra went. It was a great day. And Donna Ray says cod liver is very good. And Sharon says, I've been able to add cod livers when other forms of liver just can't. It's smoky, and add it with scrambled eggs about once a week. That sounds good. And Jackie's asking Donna Ray, what what you're making with the canned combo fish. Have you tried salmon patty type with pork rinds? I'm excited now for dinner. Oh, that sounds good. To make to make sardine patties. I think that'd be good. Sardine patties with that sounds really good. Really, really good, actually. Cod liver is good with a strange texture. I imagine it would have a strange texture. Yeah, Jackie said the story about the officer ticked me off. Yeah, that's just one of those things. Like, I understand officers have a job to do. But as an officer, your job is not to just give tickets indiscriminately. If you look and see something and you realize you are wrong, as an officer, you should be like, my bad, on your way, as you were, not giving her a ticket anyway. Because if I was a judge and I saw an officer doing that, I would put him in for contempt of court. Like, why are you frivolously giving out tickets? Why are you doing that? There's no need for that. I understand revenue generation. You know, police serve a very important function. But the one thing that they do when they just pull people over for no reason is infuriating, because they're just revenue collectors at that point. They're not stopping any crimes for the most part. A lot of times they get lucky and pull people over and they find whatever and they find out whatever, but there's a lot of luck involved in that. But this kind of thing really, really doesn't make you look good when you pull somebody over for having a phone in your hand and they don't have a phone, or they don't have a hand to have a phone in. Like, come on, bruh. For reals. I'm not sure who Wayne Dyer is. Wayne Dyer. I don't know who that is. Yeah. For real. That officer's ego, yeah. Angela Mullins is in the house. Good morning, dear. How are you? And Sandy Blythe is here. Good morning from Florida. Good morning, dear. How are you? All the wonderful people are showing up still. So great people coming here. Brian says, pool is 67 degrees. Oh, my goodness. But felt good after 190 degrees sauna. It was 41 degrees Fahrenheit when I woke up this morning. Whoa, it's 53 degrees here right now in Indiana. So if I were to go right now into the pool, I'd probably freeze my hiney off. But it'd probably be good for me. I need to get back into just to get the soreness and just get and just stretch in the water. I think that'd be really nice for myself. Aaron is here. Good morning, Aaron. So very glad to see you. How are you? And Jackie says, hardest thing for me is when the hubs bring stuff I like but can't eat into the house. This is my life every day. And not so much from Shander, because I do all the grocery shopping. So if she asks for something, I will get it for her. But I try not to bring things into the house that's going to sabotage her or myself. But the kids, on the other hand, we've talked about this at length. There is so much garbage downstairs. I had to finagle fitting things. I had to get a meat tray for her to take for work today. And I had to finagle it into the fridge around the gigantic Sam's Club package of mini tacos. Those things sound delicious. Toss them in some hot oil, fry them up. Ah, delicious. Ugh. So he brings it in the house, and so I fail, and he laughs and says, just don't eat it. And then he calls us a cult and doesn't want to. Ugh, what the hell? That's wrong. I'm sorry, dear. Brian says, my sauna is DIY, and I love it. I need to figure out how to see if I can make a sauna in my house for the cheap, but I don't know. I'm not good at that stuff. Aisha is here. Good morning, dear. How are you? So very glad to see you. Thank you for joining us. And Aaron says, I used alcohol to self-medicate. Thank God I found Carnivore. 100%. 100%. I used to drink in my younger days, but it was never like a daily thing. it was like a Friday, Saturday thing. But even like Friday and Saturday can become an issue. But, there were a few nights like on a Wednesday, I was like, why am I drinking a glass of vodka right now? I'm watching Dexter. Why am I drinking a glass of vodka? This doesn't make any sense. But I'm glad. I mean, we have alcohol in the house, but nobody here really drinks. We think our daughter's allergic to alcohol. Every time she drinks it, she gets all flushed. Like really, like one drink and she's like blotchy. So probably a good idea if she doesn't drink. But most of us don't. We buy alcohol, especially if we go on vacation, don't drink hardly any of it. But we're like, oh, we're going to have a party. And then we just don't because it's not us. Karen is here. Good morning, Karen Harrington. Good morning, Dustin and friends. Good morning, Karen. Thankful that you are here. Thank you so much, dear. I'm glad to see you. And all the people talking to each other. And Sharon Holloway is in the house. Hello. Hopping in to say hi. Weather is amazing, so you'll find me outside. 100%. I hope you enjoy your day, dear. Thank you for stopping in. And John says, don't forget about winter weight gain if you live up here in the north. Yeah, I mean, that's a thing. Just you slow down on the movement. You get lethargic. You get like, man, you're more likely to sit down and watch TV. Yeah. And Jackie says, OMG, fall hits. And my brain says, I'm starving. Got to pack on the insulation. And that's got to be one of those things that is like biological. That's got to be like hard set into us. Weather starts to get cold. We hunker in. Like there's nothing better than just chilling at home with blankets and a hoodie and just relaxing. Andy says that traveling to Germany, which is known for beer, we didn't spend money on, still water. You pay for water and toilets. Yeah. I can't say that I wouldn't have a beer or two if I went to Germany. Just like I would probably want some beer if I went to Ireland or whatever. Like I'd want like a real fresh Guinness or whatever. But I mean, it's not so much for the drinking aspect. It's more of an experience aspect. Like, being in Germany, having a good Hefeweizen, something like that. It's more of an experience than it is drinking. Does that make sense? That's like getting like, if you're in Italy, getting some good Italian, fresh, homemade, very fresh pasta or something like that. Is that because you just want to experience what it is to be in Italy? And food helps you connect with a place. And I know that that's kind of a taboo thing here because a lot of people would not want to do that. And I understand completely. But food connects us to things. And Carl says, I couldn't even eat yogurt until keto healed my stomach. Now I eat the whole milk Greek yogurt or homemade yogurt from time to time. I'm just not a yogurt person. Can't. And John says, I gained 18 pounds for the winter that I still need to lose. I understand. Yeah, I know. That's the downside to some, but I'm probably not going to get any more after this. It's just, I just kind of get into a mood where I'm like, I really want it. Yeah, I know. It's probably not the best. And Brian says, I love mustard. I got a Chinese hot mustard yesterday, and I got a horseradish mustard yesterday as well. But try out some new things. Try out some new stuff. Let's see. Looking forward to making some sauerkraut and pickles. Might try to make some kimchi. Yeah. Jackie says, is that why I've gained? I've been blaming Bob. Poor Bob. That's probably Bob. Let's keep blaming Bob. It's fine. And Bacon Runner, Miss Donna Ray says, I put homemade mustard sauce on my sardines. I like sardines with mustard and some sriracha. I love sriracha. You got to be careful. There's a little bit of sugar in it. But it's still delicious. It's still very yummy. And Aaron says, Jackie, I'm not fully awake, and I read Be Careful of the Devil's Food and then thought, what the hell is devil's food? Then I read it again. Look who finally decided to join us. Well, this was 30 minutes ago, but still.
Let's get dangerous.
Oh, yeah. Welcome, Rick, my friend. Jackie says, can't make a complete thought, you know. I think Carnivore helped flip a switch the other day. He said that weakness hits instead of saying I can't to say instead I don't. It's true. Terry is here. Oh my, another live. Welcome, Terry. Thank you for joining us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. You're always welcome. A newbie is here. I love it. How are you? And everyone's saying hello to Terry. And then the other Terry is here. Good morning, Terry. You got to be watching out for this one. This one's a troublemaker. You got to watch out for Terry. This Terry is a troublemaker. Terry says, Brian, next time send me the itinerary. I can't keep track of who was on. 100%. It's impossible to keep track of everybody who goes live. It's like Monday live. There's Dr. Barry and Ethan Suplee go live at the same time. Both at 7. So I'll probably be trying to watch both. Oh, so many amazing people are here today. Charger Mopar's got his free avocado. He's got fresh avocado. He's got free shavacado. Fresh avocado, free shavacado. Yes. What did you see? What did you see? What did you see? Oh, yeah. Just Jason Keto. That's right. I love your waffle recipe. I love you, Andy. Says, waffles, let's see. Carnivore waffles, just 2 ingredients unless you want chocolate ones. Oh, well, thank you so much. Well, Cindy has not made my waffles yet because she doesn't love me. She doesn't care about me. Ugh. But I imagine one of these days she'll make my waffles. Maybe one of these days she'll make my waffles. You should make a video of you begrudgingly making my waffles, Cindy, since you have not made them before. And she sent me a message. Just got me in the chat. Been here for 45 minutes. You know what? Boo, 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 boo. Sunny is here. Good morning, dear. How are you? Very glad to see you, my dear. Welcome, welcome. And Terry says, I just had 2 boiled eggs, but pizza sounds better. Pizza always sounds better. So my birthday is coming up, and I'm trying to decide what it is that I want to eat for my birthday. What sounds good? Is that that's the stuff from the mask that I wear at night. Yes. Yes. Let's see. Everyone loves Jason's channel. As you should. As you should. And Jackie says, donuts again. Don't ever put an Amish cracked donut in front of me at a cave in a second. Yeah, I don't know. Like, do Amish eat their own food? I don't know. I'm curious. And Mr. Biscuit says, see how addiction works? If I could, I'd only eat donuts. If I could, I'd only eat like mac and cheese. Like, well, no, I take that back. I'm a huge fan of food in general. If I could, I would just eat whatever I wanted. Whenever I wanted, whatever, like, you know, like giant meatball subs and whatever I wanted. Whatever I wanted. Angie says that donuts always made me sick. I hear about the pizza and Chinese takeout. Chinese takeout would be I don't know. Would it be better if they were using a better oil? I don't know. Maybe they would. Like their oil is always like real dark, almost black. Stuff tastes delicious, but you know that oil's oxidized as hell. I mean, that's some thick, sludgy oil, like for real. Oh, but it's so delicious. That's the downside. How delicious it is with the worst oils that you could possibly imagine. And Jackie says, I wish that donuts made me sick. Yeah. And Terry said, you had me at encouragement. I'm in. 100%. We have to encourage each other because shaming doesn't work. If shaming worked, we would all be in a better situation. No, we shame ourselves more than anybody could ever shame we shame ourselves more than anybody could shame us individually. So we have to be here for encouragement. Let's see. Jackie says, Terry, I made pizza with 2 ingredients, cheese and pepperoni in the air fryer. Oh, yeah. And John says, isn't there a Brazilian steakhouse in Indy? There is, but it's just not, I mean, it's downtown. So you're paying to park and it's busy and it's like $100. I don't want to pay I can't afford $100 to go eat some meat. Like, that's just not in my budget currently. I know it's a lot more meat than normal, but like, I can't just justify on a Saturday going and spending $100. That's like, we only went to our Brazilian steakhouse one time because we got a $35. It was like a taste of Indy. So like, it was a taste. So like all the downtown restaurants had a deal. So you went on and you paid, it was like $35. So we went for $35. But it was so crowded. Like, Shander never wants to go back because we were sitting like so close to everybody. And then you have all the people coming around with the meat and they're standing like right on you. And she is not a fan of that type of stuff. So we've never gone back. I mean, realistically, some of the best ways to make pizza is to take a skillet, lay your pepperoni down if you like pepperoni. Lay your pepperoni down, sprinkle your mozzarella and your cheese on top, let it cook for a little bit. If you are a person who utilizes like the low carb tortillas, you can take a little bit of like the lowest carb, either pizza sauce or like tomato paste or whatever's clean that you can find. Spread that on there, a little spices, a little seasoning, put that on the back of the cheese. Flip it over so where the tortillas on the bottom of the skillet and let that crisp up some. Let it get good and crispy, and then you cut it. And that's good. You can do that with the tortilla or without, but you just flip it and then like make the bottom crispy and then cut it. It's going to give you that pizza flavor. It's never going to be a complete substitute for your favorite pizza, but sometimes just scratching that itch is what you really need to do, right? Yeah, and you can use chaffles as pizza crust, make little individual, like, chaffle pizzas. You can do that. And Brian is in southwestern Kansas. You live in the middle of nowhere. Jackie says, let's see, I have an EV. I'm down for Potato Creek, but probably have to schedule for the next year. When's the hotel going to be finished? Do you know, Amy? Okay. Oh, she has an RV, not an EV. Okay. I have to limit cheese, says Angie. I could overdo that super quick and big stuffed olives. Oh, I love olives, especially olive stuffed with garlic. Oh, you eat those all day long. Lynn is here. Good morning, Lynn. How are you, my dear? Welcome. Thank you for being here. And Mr. Gugahan says that he's making keto chow waffles. That sounds delicious. And sometimes I sing and I don't really know how to. And Rick is here as always, Mr. Quack, 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 and he's never getting married. That doesn't surprise me. Risa is here. Good morning, Risa. I made 2 versions of chaffles the other day. One with garlic butter. One was garlic butter chaffles, and the other was supposed to be cottage cheese chaffles. I had no cottage cheese and used ricotta. Had to add keto chow powder. Oh, it sounds amazing. How did the ricotta how did the ricotta ones come out? I love ricotta. I'm pretty sure I have some ricotta in the fridge you're probably going to use eventually. Risa says, my uncle remarried a divorcee neighbor a few months after my aunt died. I was angry that he didn't wait to meet someone for love. Sometimes people just need a person. Some people just, and you know, you never know if you're going to find love. And I'm not saying what your uncle did was right, but I think that, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do because, you know, if I lost Chandra, what would I do? I mean, I know I have a good community and a lot of people who would be there to help support me and help get me through that immensely, overwhelmingly impossible situation. But like the kids, and then like, would I meet somebody else? I mean, I would probably just wallow in my own self-misery for a while, as one would do. Yeah, I don't know. Sounds like that's an awful thing to think about. Sean is finally here 28 minutes ago. Welcome, Mr. Bradley. How are you and your wonderful wife, Shell, doing? Glad to see your face. How are you? And Risa says, I know. He said he couldn't live by himself and needed help. His family couldn't have helped him. That's rough. Terry says, I still have my AOL email. It's where spam goes to live. I still have an AOL email, too. I got it in 1996. So that's 96, 06, 16, 26. It's a 40-year-old email. Well, almost 40 years. It's almost 40 years old. It's 39 and change. Can you believe it? Sean is waiting to go on the bus to get on the low-carb cruise. All right. Sean, I need you to listen to me if you're still here. You are in charge. You and Rachel from Two Crazy Ketos are in charge of spreading my hugs to everyone on the board. Okay? Even if they don't know who I am. Like, this hug is from Dustin. They're like, who? What? And I'm like, you know, the bearded guy. That's what we're doing here. Weird. Just keep it weird. Okay? Keep it weird. Keep it weird. And everybody's talking. Risa says, I met my husband when I was 38. When I was 27, let's see. I met my husband when he was 38. I was 27. We married within 11 months and have been together ever since. This has been 37 years. Oh my goodness. I love it. Congratulations on that. And John said, whoever built this house had his head in his ass. Yeah. Big houses are overrated. Really, all we do in them is eat, sleep, and do interwebs. I just would like, so for us, if we build a house, I would like to have, so there was a short I saw the other day, and it was a woman, and she was like, her and her husband have separate bedrooms. And they're obviously wealthy, extremely wealthy. So like his bedroom was ginormous. It was probably like 1,000 square feet bedroom. He had like the big, huge bed, and he had like the sitting area with a nice couch. I would personally love that. A place to come home, hang out that doesn't necessarily be in the bed, just a space for me. I mean, granted, I don't want a separate bedroom from Chandra, but I liked the idea of a bedroom set up like that with a sitting area and that. And then there's a gigantic bathroom. I like the houses with like his and hers closets. And then I would like to have like a house. So like, if we were going to build a house, it would be like one of those barndominiums. And then I would have like one part of it would be for Chandra and her eBay business. And then one of it would be from me. Like I'd have like, you know, a live stream station. And then like, I'd probably build like a kitchen area that I can film content. So like it would be my actual kitchen. So I could set up everything and leave it. So I could have all the lighting and the cameras and everything just set up and just kind of go in and flip a switch and get to work. So that I could go and obviously have like the fridge and everything in there that holds whatever it is that I'm going to be, like have its own pantry, have whatever it is so I can have the storage for all the things that I'm going to be cooking on the kitchen or whatever. And then that's what I would like. I'd like to be able to have like that set up for me in the house, but separate. So like right now, like this right here is in my bedroom. So I've got this wall right here. This is an actual, that's a wall. That's the outside wall. Behind me right there is behind me right there is a window to the outside. And then right here is a curtain that leads to the bedroom. And right here is a big monitor that takes up the entire space. It's a 65-inch TV. Here's a 27-inch, then a 14-inch laptop right here. And the camera's right here. So this is basically boxed me in. This is my little area here, but it's in our bedroom. Like over there's there's a dresser, the closet, the bathroom, and then our bed's over there. And then it's just kind of surrounded. There's like right over here to kind of keep things from kind of collapsing. There's like I've got a metal shelving unit right there that kind of keeps like right up against the table. So like everything's kind of, so you know, things don't kind of wiggle and move away from themselves. But I would like to have a space that's not in my bedroom anymore, because the problem is having this set up in our bedroom. It's harder for me to make videos in the mornings when I like to make videos because the baby is in here asleep. When mommy and daddy go to work, the baby comes in here, and then I can't record because I am loud. Now, this is sound dampening, but it's not soundproof by any stretch of the imagination. Even when I'm talking, if my granddaughter, who's in a bedroom on the other side of our bathroom, she can probably hear me on Sunday mornings. So that's just a thing that happens. But I would love to be able to have a house with like a sauna. I don't know if I need a pool necessarily, but at least like a stretching pool. It doesn't need to be a big swimming pool, but at least like a pool that's big enough for me to get in and it's cool and stretches and so I can move around. But I mean, probably building a pool, whatever. Then you have to have someone come and take care of it. But hopefully if I have that size of a house, it's not a problem to have someone take care of it, because I'm going to have a maid and all that stuff, because I don't want to do all the cleaning. I don't want to clean. I want to just get up, do what I want to do and work and do all the things, right? But there's also some cool stuff, again, coming that I'll be announcing as they are finalized and everything. I'm waiting on a contract and I'm waiting on things. We'll see how things go. Mr. Biscuit says, I move every 2 years. It's the nature of rental market in New York City. I thought people just kind of like lived in a place in New York and you just lived there forever. Angie says, my house is only 1,130 square feet. It's a basement ranch style, 3 beds, one bath, 4 adults, 2 dogs, 1 cat. It's pretty open concept, living, dining room, kitchen area. It works. Yeah. I just, the way theirs is set up, though, it's just so, it feels very claustrophobic. Like when you walk in the front door, you go up the stairs, you go down this really oversized landing. I feel that kind of takes away from some of the space. And then like the way they've got things set up, there's like extra furniture and there's like there's a gigantic sectional. I just don't feel like it's really set up. And I know him, and he's going to want us to try to do holidays over there. Like, no, there's not enough room to do holidays over there. There's just not. And he's going to want to have all of us over there, and that's going to be like 12 people squeezed into his little bitty house. No. And he's going to get butthurt about it, you know? And Brian says, hard no on the Costco sauna. The Life Pro is cheaper and much better. Okay, I'll have to look at that up and see how much it is, because one of these days I will have a sauna in my house. Just go and sit and just sweat. Sweat, sweat, sweat. Aisha says to Mr. Biscuit, I've heard that you didn't email me. I just wanted to pick your brain about carnivore and cancer because you are a research master. Oh, my goodness. The scandal. How dare you, Mr. Biscuit? And Risa says, I've seen the saunas at Costco. When we had our house built 26 years ago, There was an option to put a sauna in our master bath. We thought it would be too small to be a sauna bathroom and went with no. Oh, that's crazy. Sharon says, Lily reinforced for me. She was also careful to mention that metabolically unhealthy people to keep the carbs as low as possible. Okay, like I said, I haven't seen that, but I think, so there's a major disconnect. So we have creators who were like Paul Saladino and Lily, extremely active. They're physically fit. They're in peak human condition. Someone like Paul Saladino, he goes out and he surfs 6, 7, 8 hours a day. He's extremely active. So if he puts in some fruit into his diet, it's probably not going to impact him the same way as it would be for someone like me, who is not nearly as active. I don't surf. I haven't surfed for 8 hours of my entire life. So I think there is a major disconnect, and I think if she did say that, like I said, I haven't seen the video, so I'm going based on your word here, that if you are somebody who is metabolically unhealthy, then you should keep your carbs as low as possible. But I think there's a point where when you get to where you're metabolically healthier and you're active, and you can play around with different types of foods at that point. If you're active and you're swimming and you're surfing and you're going to the gym and you're doing all these things, and it doesn't impact you negatively, sure, broaden your horizons. Though for a lot of us, we haven't dug ourselves out of the hole yet of the metabolic issues that we've created for ourselves over the last 20, 30, 40 plus years. So I think that's important. That's an important caveat. Cindy says, someone sent me a video that Apple Watches and watch bands can cause cancer. I mean, it's possible. Who knows what they're made with? If you're buying, who knows? I mean, is it likely? Probably not. But who knows what we're doing in our lives that can cause cancer? Think about the massive amount of brake dust that we breathe in on a yearly basis. Just, there's a highway not far from my house. Brake dust on the highway floats into our air, into the atmosphere. That's ridiculous. We're breathing in steel, metal. It's in the air. And that can't be good for us. But I think that goes a long way. There's a compounding factor of is your body healthy enough to fight it off? And that's the thing we haven't truly figured out yet. We're working on it. We're figuring things out, but we're a slow race of people who don't really, we get caught up in our own whatever it is, and we can't see the forest for the trees sometimes, Risa has never tried cod liver. Can't find it locally. Yeah, it's really hard to find most of the time. JJ is here. Good morning, my friend. How are you? Are you on summer break? Has your summer vacation started already? I'm excited to see what you're going to be doing this year. And Jackie says, I unfollowed her and her videos, but she's a nutritional specialist, and I was taken aback by her flip. I was very disappointed, rather watch her eating competition vids than telling us to eat carbs. I didn't know she did eating competition videos. I didn't know that. Like I said, I don't really pay. I think I'm subscribed to her channel, but I don't necessarily see her stuff because, again, the way subscriptions work and the way YouTube works, you can be subscribed to a channel and not see the comment or to see the content if you're not regularly clicking on it. So if you're not seeing my content, it means you're not watching it. Or I'm not making it. One of the two. But I wouldn't unfollow her. I would say if you follow her, I mean, there's always important information we can glean from people to kind of see what works, what doesn't work. And someone else said, if she's talking about, like, if you're metabolically unhealthy, then maybe cut back on some of the fruits and not eat so many or keep your carbs as low as possible. I think that's important information. But at the same time, are people going to truly listen to that? I don't know. And Terry says, it's usually tucked into the anchovies. I look every time I go to the store, a new store, I always look to see if they're going to have cod liver. They have anchovies and sardines and squid and shrimp and things like that usually, but no cod liver. Deborah is here. Deborah, let's see, Deborah, this and that. Deborah's this, that, 5034. Fantastic. Welcome from Alberta. Welcome. So glad to see you, my dear. How are you? That's crazy. Angela says, it was 81 degrees here yesterday, 60 this morning. Felt nice when I took Ted outside. Oh, that's nice. Deborah says, today is my birthday. Happy birthday. How are you? Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Deborah. I don't really sing that much. I mean, I do, but not really. But happy birthday to you. Welcome. So glad to see you. And I'm glad it's your birthday. What are you doing for your birthday? How are you celebrating? Besides spending a little bit of time with us today. That's fantastic. How are you? And everyone's happy birthday. We love it. All the happy birthdays this morning. And Twinbrook Acres, Mr. Rick is in the house. How are you, my friend? Welcome, welcome. So very glad to see you. I got a chance to hang out with Rick and Lynn 2 times a couple of weeks ago. We went to Rockstar Pizza 2 times. Oh, I love their breadsticks. Their breadsticks are so good. I love them. Their soup is good. And Risa says, these days, I drink maybe once a week on a day off from work. I used to drink a lot. Freaking people out by my size and my consumption level. Don't care if I don't 4 weeks. Yeah, I mean, we don't drink for months and months and months at a time. Typically, we drink if there's a major celebration, like a wedding, we may have a couple of drinks. Funeral, we might have like someone dies, we might have a couple of drinks. Or we go to like vacation. Otherwise, we just don't. Amy says, I'm having severe joint pain lately, almost debilitating. I fired my doctor because all he wants to do is push statins. All I eat is meat, butter, eggs. I'm super frustrated. I'm very sorry, Amy. Have you played around with that Dr. Berry AI and see, like, I'm having joint pain, I'm eating meat, butter, and eggs, and I'm not really on any medications? Have you seen what that has to say? Because that's got to have something to say in there. Very curious to what it would say. And Sean says Guinness in Ireland is amazing. I bet just being in Ireland would be so cool. Oh, man, the accents. Oh, I'd be in heaven. I'd be falling in love with all the women. I'm like, oh, they'd be like, I don't know. You know, accents get me. It's pouring rain here in Alberta for the next 3 days. It looks like for right now, clear skies. I've got like on my laptop, I've got the time, I got a calendar, and I've got like the current weather. This current wind 5 miles per hour, 57 degrees. Going to be a high of 77 today, tomorrow, and Tuesday. There's going to jump to 78 on Wednesday and 82 on Thursday. It's going to be in the 50s and 60s all week as the low. So that's kind of cool. I need to start getting up early and going to the pool, even if I do it by myself. I think that would be good for me. Yeah, and Amy says something is going on, but I know going to the doctor, they're only going to push meds. They're not going to help you problem solve. That's a problem. I think that doctors should be helping you problem solve and not just trying to go, well, here's a whatever it is. Something's bothering you. Something's irritating you. What is it? Getting down to the root cause is an issue, right? Angie says, it's unrealistic to say I will never eat or drink non-meat items again. If we're traveling or trying to enjoy it, then go for the entire experience. And I think, that's one of those things, if you can reasonably control your circumstances, then sure. There are going to be some of us who know that they can't. I'm a person who is dumb, and I will do it anyway because I want to experience those things. And I know that I've been doing this for 10 years, and I can sometimes even claw my way back, but I can come back from those things. So I don't know. I mean, and granted, I don't get to travel all that much anyway. So right now it's all hypothetical. It's not happening. Right now I have no plans to travel outside of anywhere of Kentucky, Tennessee, maybe Ohio. I don't have plans to go anywhere except for the Keto Palooza. Maybe if I can afford to get a ticket before they sell out to Low Carb for Better Health. Those type of things, right? That kind of thing. And Terry's heading on her walk. Chat all soon. Well, fantastic. Well, again, thank you so much for being here and spending a little time with us. We appreciate you very much. Yes. And Sharon says, I love how the duck quack sounds like it's saying Rick, 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 because it is, because I used AI to make that. I said, I need a duck quack sound that sounds like it's saying Rick. And that's what I got. I love it. And mangoes. I do love mango. I love mango flavored. You can get some mango, like Minute Maid or whatever. That was the 0 sugar mango beverage. I really like that. They have a pineapple one, 0 sugar. It's pretty good too. I love it. And Deborah says, this is my first live with you. Well, I appreciate you being here, dear. I hope you enjoy what you see and you come back. And Amy says, Rick, mine was osteopathic, which I thought would be good. I have not found a naturopath, Rick, but I would be open if someone in the area could recommend one. Okay. Risa says, I made your waffles. First one time so far. I tried some different Pinterest truffles on Thursday. One was a winner. The other failed miserably. Oh, my goodness. Well, I hope you liked mine. I hope it was good for you. I've got mine down, so I make mine a little different now. I have I have an immersion blender that has multiple attachments. It's got a whisk attachment. And I use the little tall container that it comes with. And I crack the eggs in a separate bowl so I make sure I don't get any shells in there. Then I dump the eggs in there. Then I put that on a scale, and I weigh out my 85 grams of mayonnaise. And then I take my gelatin in a little plastic cup that I have, and I start mixing it up, and then I pull pull it out a little bit. Then I just pour in the gel that I mixed for a while, and then I set it to the side and let it sit. And then I start prepping other things, like if I'm gonna have eggs or whatever I'm gonna put on it, or if I'm gonna have lunch meat and cheese or whatever it is, I will then get all that out, start getting it prepped. So then once I pour my waffles on, that's 8 minutes. I know the video says 7, but I've bumped it up to 8. It gets a little more brown, a little bit extra crisp. I like it. But I hope you liked them. And Rick says, I'll be your coach, Amy. I love it. And Coach Angela says, I fired my naturopath doctor. Wow. Risa says, lately, my manager has been putting expiring baked goods in the break room every day. I have to stop myself from grabbing it. Too tempting to eat it on my break, even when I bring my own stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's I understand. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to be nice and all that stuff, but yeah. And Amy says, it's probably menopause. It will go away. But that doesn't sound like menopause. It doesn't sound like the body's natural reaction to aging is just to hurt for no reason. It's got to be something underlying. Maybe, I don't know. And I hate to be all are you using spices that may not agree with you? Is there hidden maltodextrin in something? I know it sounds so kind of cliche, but I'm just curious to see what's going on. And Sharon says, my sister and brother-in-law used to pressure clean range hoods from Chinese restaurants. OMG, you makes it not. Yeah, but it's so delicious. So good. And Terry says, I hear you, Dustin. When I crave Chinese buffet, I know I'm in for stomach aches. I need to make egg roll bowls at home to cure it. Yeah, 100%. And Evelyn said, I had a great combo with my naturopath last week. Last time I was in Chicago for a visit, I felt on their level with my nutritional knowledge. He's a vegetarian, and I went vegetarian when following his methods. Oh, that's interesting. His methods didn't help me at all, but now I know. Yeah, 100%. Amy says, the men hovering with meat are fine by me. Yeah. And Risa says, funny about Chinese buffets. These days, the only thing I can't avoid is the sushi. I have one plate filled with sushi, one with meat and bok choy. It is too expensive to go to a Chinese buffet these days. Yeah, we don't even go to the Chinese buffet. Sometimes, even ordering Chinese takeout anymore is like we ordered Chinese takeout one night for the whole family, and it was like $200. It was ridiculous. It was a lot of money. And Brian says, it's beautiful here, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Oh, my goodness. I've only driven on I-70 all the way across Kansas, and I-70 just kind of cuts through nothing. There's nothing to see. So I don't know what else there is in Kansas outside of what you see from I-70. And Risa says, the other night I opened a jar of Aldi garlic, olives of garlic and herbs. I bought it for a New Year's charcuterie board. Never opened them. They were mild. Oh, I like those. Yes, the baguettes are now ridiculously expensive, no longer worth it. I don't eat enough to make it justifiable. Yeah. Buffets, okay. Even in Las Vegas, when I was in Las Vegas, in 2012, 2009, 2012, something like that, buffets were $80. All that time ago. And Risa says the ricotta truffles were good, but the mixture was way too wet without some keto chow powder, messed up the Dash waffle maker, added baked potato keto chow and improved the situation. Oh, yeah, I still have a bunch of that left. I love that. Jackie says, I had to pause. Now I'm catching up at 1.5 speed. Chipmunk Dustin. Woohoo. Boodle-doo-doo-doo. Alvin, Simon, Theodore. Doot, 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 doot. Anyway, I like going to the casino buffet occasionally. Honestly, I don't really like eating out because of my extreme sensitivities. Yeah, it just makes it difficult. And Jackie says, Terry, don't know if anybody said turn notifications on when he goes live. It'll send you a message. Yeah. And I try to post my lives early enough. So the problem with setting up lives is I set them up and I go live on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Rumble. Rumble does not let me set up my lives within 48 hours. So if I try to set it up past 48 hours, so if I want to set up my Sunday live on Wednesday, I can set it for everything but Rumble and then go the night before and set it up on Rumble, and I have to remember to do that. So that's irritating. So I usually set it up the night before, but then it's not sitting there long enough for everyone to see, oh, well, Dustin's got a live coming up on Sunday. But most of you know, most of you are ready to be here anyway. Most of you are ready to get up and be here and join in on the fun, right? Yeah. And Aisha says, never works for me. For some reason, YouTube notifications lie to me. Oh, the only channel that Two Crazy Ketos, for some reason, tells me everything they do. Every time they release a video, every time they go live, it pops up in my notification feed. That's the only one. And Rick asks, does the cruise ship remind you of your Navy days, Sean? in the Navy. Jackie says, Cindy doesn't love me. Ugh, set it in high speed. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. Y'all have fun on that low-carb cruise. Stay safe and healthy. Bon voyage. One of these days, I'm going to make it on a low-carb cruise or a 2KK cruise because I just I want to go on a cruise. I want to be out in the middle of the ocean like a weirdo and I've never been that far out. Yeah, big juicy steak does sound really, really delicious. Sounds so delicious. And Brian says, Aisha, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. She has loved me through everything. She fell in love with me when I weighed 700 pounds. Oh, MG. That's amazing, Brian. I love hearing that. Thank you for sharing that with us. I really appreciate that. JJ says, my wife and I met, dated, engaged, and married in 11 months. This November will be our 30th anniversary. Congratulations, JJ. I love that. I love that. I love that so very much. And Amy says, my house isn't that big, just big enough for my husband and I. I don't know, I guess, and our house isn't that big. I mean, especially right now, like our house doesn't feel that big, but again, a bulk of the space upstairs, which is like the bonus like loft area, is full of Chandra's eBay stuff. So there's so much stuff that goes up there that's in there that's just boxes of inventory. And then the shelves of everything that's listed. So that takes up all that space. So it's basically, and she has like a little path to get through to her computer. It's a little L-shaped path and everything else is full. It's ridiculous. So, I mean, our house feels small. And then like with 8 people living here, like our formal living room is like curtained off and that's where the boys live. They're in there playing video games or sleeping. And then the living room is where like the kids hang out because they don't have a TV in their room. They don't want a TV in their room. So they hang out and watch our downstairs TV. Then there's a dining room, kitchen. And then up here, we've got our TV. And then we've got the bed. And then I've got this. So I stay up here most of the time, you know. Yeah, I would love a separate kitchen for live stream. Yeah, my kitchen's just is not set up for live streams. It's just not set up for it. I love it. And Amy says, yeah, since I do a ton of cooking live streams, set up and tear down is exhausting. Yeah, I would like to just be able to have it set up, have everything dialed in, have the cameras set. All you got to do is flip them on and just go. Have like an A10 Mini, like one of those A10 Mini Extreme, like ISO switchers and everything plugged in and just ready to go. So you can just click and all the views are done or whatever. I love it. And John says, this is an old 2-story with no closets or storage areas, small rooms. Oh, my goodness. And Holly Springer says, Dustin, an in-law suite would be perfect for you, what you need. Yeah, I've looked at different like barn-dominium house setups. There's like one where there's like a center house area, like where the kitchen and family room and living room, giant living room and all that stuff is. And then it breaks off. And then there's like 2 other wings. So there's like the kids could have a wing and then we could have a wing. But then like we would need something out the back of ours to go into like an office setup, like office and kitchen and all that set up back there for the videos. And then like a warehouse area for Chandra and all her stuff, all her inventory. That'd be awesome. Mr. Biscuit says opposite New York City. I was in real estate and it's only market that never dips. Properties flip constantly. Oh yeah. I think, but then maybe it's just because I watched Sex and the City, and they were talking about like because where Carrie lived in a rent controlled apartment, so she never wanted to move because it was like super cheap, or she couldn't afford to live in the same space anywhere else. Aisha is on her way out. Have to hop off. Have a great day, y'all. Thank you for being here, dear. I'm so glad that you stopped by. Around here, you get a sauna if you simply turn off the air conditioner. Awful. I don't want it. Rick says, buy a junk van and put it in the sun. Rick, you're the best. Jeff the Fuss says, currently frying bacon, making Dustin waffles, and listening. Look at that. Old dude multitasking. I love it, Jeff. How do you like the waffles? Have you made them before? I'm just curious. Let me know what you think. Because, I mean, obviously you're making them now. So if you've made them before, you like them. Let's see. Amy says, my friend got a rare cancer from always putting her cell phone and her bra to carry it around. So, yes, I believe we can get cancer from devices. Oh, yeah, 100%. JJ says, I wish. Starting summer school tomorrow because we're buying a manufactured home in July. I love it. I remember summer school was one of those things I had to do for English a couple times. You know. Let's see. Jackie says, okay, I researched a cheapy sauna. They're not worth the buy. Apparently, they only last about 15 times. What? Thank you, Isabel, for becoming a member. Thank you so very much. Isabel has become a member. Thank you so very much. And with that, I like to talk and say thank you to some of the members that we have. I want to say thank you to some of the members that we have here. Let's see all the members. See if I can figure this out. Why is it not filtering? Let's see. It's going to let me do, let's see. Let's see. The morning regulars. We got A. Mason is a morning regular. Has been for 10 days. The What's Up Squad is a morning regular. And Hanging Out with Jen is a morning regular. Total time as a member, 8 months. Sean, the morning regular. Cindy's a morning regular. Evelyn and Andy and Sharon H are all morning regulars. And so many friends levels. So many friends levels. You are all amazing. Thank you so much for your support of this channel. I truly, truly appreciate that so very much. And Brian says, Dr. Berg talked about creators flipping. It's about the money. Yeah, I mean, and understandably so. I mean, and I can't blame creators for doing it because, again, this becomes a career. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, right? I think it's up to us to see what kind of content are they providing and does it bring us value? So, I mean, that's what I want to do. I want to always make sure that I'm bringing some kind of value to you for you to be here every Sunday to watch and hang out with me. Because, again, it's also a place for you guys to be together as well. So it doesn't always revolve around just me. You guys are chatting in here and stuff, all that as well, Like, yeah. But, I mean, I think you can make a decent living with YouTube, even changing things and talking about different topics, as long as you are open and honest about, okay, like if you want to add in carbohydrates like fruits and things to your diet as a carnivore, then what are the caveats to that? There's always a caveat. Are you surfing 6 hours a day? Are you going to the gym for 2 hours every day? Are you below goal weight? Are you in extremely good shape? Are you jacked? That's the thing. Like, can your body handle it? Do you have a history of food addiction? These are all very important things to consider when you decide to add things back to your diet. I think it's very important. And I think these creators should be mindful of that as well. And Jackie says, I'm at the dream home part of the video. You need to start cutting out pictures of what you want and putting it in your dream board, my man. I don't know about all that, because what I want and what I would be able to afford might be a little different. I have images in my head, because if we ever get to the point where if we ever get to the point to where I am able to afford to buy or have something built, then I will go deep. I mean, you should see what I do when I bought the laptop that I'm using or buying any of the things that I have. Those are all super, very important things. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Sharon says, my Food Lion has cod liver, hard to spot though. Oh, interesting. The ShopRite I work at finally added some Fish Wife products to their 10 fish wall. They want outrageous prices. I will buy it on sale though. Thrive Market will not pay. I will not pay full price. Oh yeah. I was a Thrive Market member for about a whole 5 minutes because you sign up for Thrive Market to see what Thrive Market sells. And so basically what I did is I went in and signed up, paid the yearly fee or whatever it is, and then decided that they didn't offer a good enough value for me. So then I canceled my subscription and got my money back. Jackie says, we bought a 5-bedroom, 3-bath because of the garage with the lift and 5 acres. Oh, yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, there's no reason, I don't know, like, I don't know if we would downsize, but I wouldn't mind a house where everybody could live here, or at least land where we could put houses where the family could be together. Because if we ever move states, the family has to come with us. I'm just like, you know, like that's what's never, like I never moved away because my grandmother and my mother, now they're both gone. But now, I mean, obviously I've got my own family with Chandra and the kids and the grandkids and all of that. But all of Chandra's family have basically moved away. So, you know, her parents live in Florida and sisters live in Wisconsin, Virginia, and Colorado. And then her brother's moving to South Carolina, I think it is. So nobody lives here anymore. Nobody lives here in Indiana anymore. So it's just us. So, you know. Angel says, my back still hurts from falling last week. Arm still swollen and bruised, but not hurting like it was. And you'll heal. It's just going to take some time to heal. Just relax a little bit. Try not to go so hard. Evelyn says, going to my mom's memorial Saturday. My cousin wrote me to ask if I'll be eating the family recipe banana pudding she's making. No, I won't. But I'll make myself some keto chow fudge as a sweet treat to get through. That reminds me, Evelyn, I need information on that because I am driving up there to go with you guys. So let me know what's going on and where to meet you guys and all that stuff. So let me know what's going on so I can be there with you, okay? And Evelyn says, let's talk KPL 26 or bust. Again, for 2026 KPL, I will not be there the first night. I will be there the first night, but after everything is done. Because, again, my son is getting married that night, at least as it stands right now. They're buying a house. They're getting married. They're going to Japan. They're doing all these things. I don't know where they're getting all this money. But, yeah, there's all that happening. And so I will be there late Thursday night and hopefully get a good night's rest, at least a decent night's rest so I can be up and ready to hang out with everybody Saturday morning. Or I don't know why I keep saying Saturday. It's Friday morning. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Saturday is the ending ceremonies and all that stuff. Yeah. And Evelyn's, who's liking peach salty? Peach salty is delicious. So is Granny Apple. And don't forget that June 10th, you asked for it. They heard you. They are going to deliver June 10th, salty. That's all I can say. But hopefully that builds anticipation. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. And Jackie says, still an Element girl. I still have Element in the house, but salty is just my thing. I mean, am I an affiliate with them? Yes. But I wouldn't be an affiliate with them if I didn't like it. If it wasn't a good value and all these things. Doesn't have the maltodextrin in it. The one thing I do wish is I do want to try eventually the lemonade salt from Element because it doesn't have the maltodextrin in it. But yeah. Angie still has to order the peach salty. Just remember that June 10th, if you are interested, there will be a new or a resurfacing flavor coming back. Not to say to hold off on your orders, but maybe you'll want to order again June 10th. June 10th, June 10th. Salty June 10th. Anyway. And let's see. Risa says, I've been using the chaffles as a bread substitute, turkey and cheese, Sammy, or for ham and cheese. Sounds amazing. I love it. And Jackie says, Amy, are you still taking supplements and maybe go lion for a couple of days? We can do lion challenge. I'll join you. Interesting. There could be something in a supplement that you're taking. If you are taking any kind of supplements, it could be something in there that's not, you know what I mean? And Evelyn said, Jackie, we missed you at the Elkhart meetup. I think she had something to do. And Risa says, I was proud of myself yesterday. Manager put Jimmy's cookies by the pound cookies in the break room, and I didn't take any. Their walnut chocolate ones gets me every time. I ate my chaffle instead. I love it. And Jackie says, I found out that I can't take berberine because there's a conflict with the levothroxine or something. I cannot pronounce that word. And Ultram. Interesting. And Jackie says, I know I was bummed. We stayed at our friends until later, and Bob had to work the next day at 3 a.m. Oh, my goodness. That's a huge win. I love it. And Jackie says, I try to limit mayo because there is no healthy mayo unless you make your own for me to try to stay carnivore. I mean, that's why we use the Chosen Foods. It's got avocado oil in it. Well, I mean, if you're super strict carnivore, then I understand. But, you know, it's the cleanest one you can find. Risa made porterhouse steaks for Memorial Day. Huge ones. No one could finish their steak. That doesn't sound right. We have leftover steak and eggs. I love it. And Risa said, same here, JJ. Met Steve. Let's see. 12-2, got engaged 3-20, and we were married 11-11. Everyone thought I was nuts. It is 36 years. I guess we knew what we were doing. Yeah, I think, you know. Like how ADHD Dave set up his garage. Now it's a full kitchen for filming. Nice. I didn't know he did that. I thought that was his kitchen, and I didn't know he had a new setup. I haven't watched his videos in a while. And Jackie says, I'm afraid if I went on a cruise, I'd be trying to get into the engine room constantly. Well, they probably wouldn't let you. Biscuit says, rent control isn't real like zebras and Ohio. That's true. I was curious about that, though. It probably was a thing once upon a time. Karen Harrington says, I met my hubby in July, moved in with him in August, got married in January. Here we are 47 years later. Congratulations. That's amazing. And Jess has made him before, very versatile. I love it. Thank you so much for that. And Chris is here, Partners in Ketosis. Oh, wrong account. Ketogenic Geek. Okay, right account now. All right. Well, welcome, Chris. It's good to see you, my friend. How are you? And Jackie says, I can't wait to make some money doing real estate again so I can give it all away. Yes. And Jackie says, 30 more minutes. I have to go to work on my Jeep. The parts came in. Awesome. And Brian was saying that he was talking about big food and pharma and the money is great. Oh, there's so much money in all of that. I don't think I'm ever going to make that kind of money doing any of this. I'm just not. Maybe with coaching, maybe. But, I mean, even still, it's not even going to be I could probably get a full-time job making more money. But being able to be home with my grandkids and do this and help people is so much more important. And Jackie said, food for thought. I don't think Dr. Baker eats any carbs. He said in interviews that he'll eat sometimes. He'll have ice cream every once in a while. I find it hard to believe that there's people out there who eat strict 100% of the time. I just don't believe it because we're humans. And I mean, they might be, but again, it's just very unlikely that you're perfect 100% of the time. I just don't believe it. And JJ said, I think I placed one order from Thrive. I did a 1-month trial. Yeah, I just looked at the prices and nothing seemed, for me, the things that I would order didn't seem to be better than I could find them in person. Let's see. I met a lady on the phone the other day. She said she had a surprise baby. I asked her whether she had a carnivore baby. She said, yes. I got on carnivore to regulate her hormones. An exciting moment. That was a thing when we first started doing, when I first started getting into keto, there was a thing called keto babies because women had been like going keto and regulating their hormones, and then they would get pregnant. They didn't think they could get pregnant anymore. They thought they were in menopause, and then they go keto, and then boom, pregnant. Dun, dun, dun. Jason is here. We were talking about you earlier, my friend. How are you? If you don't follow my friend Jason, be sure to do so. Just Jason Keto. He's got a great little channel. He's awesome. He's making great videos and getting good views. He's doing amazing. I say little. I don't really mean little, but he's got a great channel. And Risa says, I've been a Thrive member for 4 years now. I love their sales. I like their low-carb products. The shirataki ramen noodles, hearts of palm rice, sugar-free sauces, and deals on Primal Kitchen and Chosen. I love it. And Evelyn's been a member for 3 years on Thrive. Good deals on Lily's chips, but they didn't have all the flavors. I would also get seaweed and nut pods. It wasn't worth it. Okay. Yay, KOL 26, KPL even, he says. Risa says, Dustin, that is so sweet that you were going to be there for Evelyn's family memorial. What a great friend you are. What can I say? You know, if I can do it, I'll be there. I mean, it's like a 3-hour drive each way, but I'll do what I can, you know? You just do. You just do it. Evelyn, I'm cracking up when I read Keto Chow. I keep thinking Kansas City. I thought you'd do. Oh, yes. Risa says, I got my peach salty the other day. I've had 4 of the packets already. I mixed it with raspberry element the other day, like a raspberry peach LaCroix without the bubbles. Oh, yeah. I love it. And Jackie says, I use a packet of element for a quart of water. Yeah, I use 1 packet for at least 30 ounces. Like if I'm having to put like 1 pack of element or 1 pack of salty into a 16-ounce bottle of water, it's too much. It's too much powder, you know? I mean, if you got a chance to meet the captain or whatever, and you knew some people. And Mr. Mopar says, off to Kiltz's live. See you next time. I'm probably going to jump in over there as well on the live. I'll probably be over there on Kiltz's live for a few minutes. We're coming up on the end of these. And Jackie says, I think Dr. Baker meant Kiltz's ice cream. I don't know. I've heard him. He said he's ate real ice cream before. Whether it's Kiltz's ice cream or not, I mean, it's whatever it is. I just don't think anybody is 100% all the time. And anybody who, I think whenever anybody says they are, it makes it hard to believe. And not that I'm just trusting, but I'm just like, humans are going to human, right? Yes. Jabberjin is here. Hello, dear. How are you? Oh my God, I can't quit yakking. Blah, blah, blah. Peanuts. I don't mind, Sonny. It's okay, because I know that Dr. Kilt's live starts in just a couple of minutes. You know, it doesn't really bother me at all. Because, again, we're a community here, and that's okay. And there's lots of lives going on, and I'm going to be ending mine here in a couple of minutes anyway. We've been going for 2.5 hours. That's okay. Christy stopped in to say hi. I know I'm very late. That's okay, my dear. And Aaron says, have fun, everyone. And Mr. Gugahan says, I pay $9.99 a year for Thrive Market. I tried to cancel 2 years ago, and they kept offering lower and lower annual fee until they got to $9.99. I said, okay. Same thing happened last year. I love that, Mr. Gugahan. Thank you for letting us know. That could be something that we could all try. I've done that with Audible before. I was like, I'm going to cancel. And they're like, well, why don't we give you 3 months for free? I'm like, okay. All right, everybody. Again, thank you all so very much for spending your morning with me. Let's go on over to Kilts. I've got it linked already. Let's go live over there. I might jump on the panel, see what's going on. Anyway, I love each and every one of you. Here come the credits, and I can't wait to see you on Tuesday. Anyway, later, everybody.